Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's a chess show on Pod TV. My name is Sasha Star, and our guest is, of course, Professor Ken Regan. Welcome to the show, Ken.
Yes, thank you very much for having me on. Yeah, so in my
Always a
office.
pleasure.
Mhm.
Okay, and so the most interesting thing was going on right now. It's almost like uh, mm,
3 days to the official start of the World Championship match. I think 4 days
that's
to the first game. Yeah, so
Yeah, but I think this one is a real world championship match
you could say that. Yes, played
by
with them
racing,
before.
by their strength, by their achievements, of course.
So what we are talking about is actually two games of freestyle chess between Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana, who has probably, among all of Carlsen's challengers, I'd probably say that Caruana has been the one to most consistently maintain for the longest time a 2,800 plus rating. I mean, he's dipped below, but he's been back above as well. So that can justify your statement about perhaps the highest level championship game. Um, so um, and so let's see. So this is part of something that's been called the um, Freestyle Grand Slam Tour, and it is actually being played in Singapore, same location as the official World Championship match. Two different venues in Singapore. So maybe you could say this is part of the promo run up. That's the nice way to say it. Otherwise, this is a way of saying, well, this could be the two, um, best players in the world. But who knows? Gukesh may zoom up to this company quite fast. His countryman Arjun Erigaisi is the one who has been the first to break the 2,800 barrier in rating among the newer generation of Indians. But so let me just first share a promo tab. So this is the so you can see Caruana and Magnus. So two games. So this is in Skybar level 57 at the Marina Bay Sands Hotel in Singapore. So a high-end area. So you can see their photo now.
Oh yeah.
And one other little eyebrow-raising thing, which I won't show, is that one of them is one of the promo pictures was of them, I guess, in bathing suits. You can't tell, playing chess in the pool, in the famous pool in the Marina Bay Sands Hotel in Singapore. So anyway. Right. So whether they were playing naked as an anti-cheating detection. The Marina Bay Sands, Singapore, is the famous hotel that looks like three pillars supporting a boat on the ocean. So it is one of the most notable outdoor swimming pools. But okay, enough of my chit chat. Time I got to the chess. So the first, the match is over. Carlsen won the first game, played yesterday, and then today's game was a draw, where Carlsen defended accurately into an unwinnable. Caruana had rook and 2 pawns against rook and 1 pawn for Carlsen. But yesterday's game had a lot of notable points. So now tell me if. Oh wait, did I share the tab correctly, or did I just click it? Wait,
Not yet.
I have to share the tab. That's it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so tell me when you see the chessboard.
Yes.
Okay, so this is freestyle chess, which means the king is between the rooks, just as if it's being supported by pillars at the Marina Bay Sands Hotel. And this, by the way, is the most amusing case of the Fischer generalized castling rule. Because White's king is on its correct original square, and the rook is on the square that the castling move goes to. So only the king, Black's king in particular, at an important juncture in the game, is going to take a 2-square hike from E8 to G8. But let's get to the game. So this, so I'm going to talk about the engine evaluations also. So this, this is bird's opening in normal chess, but here very clearly an important move because it's opening a line for both white's rook and white's queen. And one of the defects of the random positions in Fischer random chess is that already white starts with a winning threat to take this pawn, which, by the way, not only wins a pawn, but it would also trap one of black's two knights. So win one of black's two knights. So the game would already be over if black, for instance, mindlessly reciprocates with f5. In fact, let's just see how bad the engine says f5 is. Oh, it only gives white a 1 pawn advantage. I guess after queen takes a7, knight a6, black can trap white's queen if white goes here. Oh no, black can go queen a2 and takes a2 and return the favor. Okay, however, a saner second move by white defending again knight a6 and knight d3. White simply enshrines a pawn advantage. White can get out the queen. So black actually has to play a more abject defense, losing control of the center right away. So knight b6, but that knight can be kicked by a4. So white plays a knight to a more essential square. And this also now has an immediate threat that black can't reciprocate. That's to play knight b5, and knight takes c7 will be smothered mate or winning that pawn on a7. So, all right. So actually, maybe this wasn't even white's best move. The engine says d3, building up in the center with a c4 or e4 already gives white an initiative in the center and might be better long term. Okay, so this now black plays f5. So black actually decides that white's knight b5 move is not so terrible a threat. And let's see how black actually would defend against this. So the answer is that black can actually ignore it. This is amazing. So we take that, and then we just go hunting with our king. And the engine actually gives black the advantage. Why on earth? Okay, wow. This is just an example of how crazy the Chess 960 with Fischer random rules can be. Okay, so apparently black has the initiative in this position. Who knew? Okay, so not as deadly a threat as I might have imagined. And already, I guess the players are thinking on move 3. That's one of the benefits of this. You throw out the opening preparation. So knight b3, same defense. Knight a6, proactively guarding c7. And now white starts with the central buildup. So the engine is giving white a normal opening advantage, fluctuating around 0.30. Okay, and by the way, Caruana's position midway through the game was fine after some ups and downs. Okay, so now we've got a threat on b6, and black responds in a very challenging manner. Let's see. In fact, I have to say the engine did not like black's c6 move. Maybe it's too weakening. d6, queen f7. I don't know what the point of queen f7 is. G6 is a move that makes a lot of sense to me, opening up the bishop. But okay, c6, bishop b3. Now black is the one to take over the center at the cost of a pawn. So white now white is trying to take advantage of a lead in development. Black's c8 bishop is not going to enter the game anytime soon. And white has now won a second pawn. So, but on the other hand, queen g5, this is black has it down to a normal advantage for white again. And one of the interesting things is going to be play on the e4 square. Okay, so white is still attacking black's undeveloped parts, and here is the Fischer castling move. So it is the best move in the position. Black's king gets out of dodge, and once black does that, okay. So now we do actually see an imbalance in this position because white's not going to reciprocate by playing king e1, g1 castling because the g4 pawn check would fall with check. So now suddenly black can stake a claim to say, I'm going to play d5 and have my rooks behind my center pawns. White's king is still stuck in the center, can castle by taking an exit to c1 instead. In fact, let's just say that's a legal move. Yep, this knows chess 960, but that has the latent flaw of f3 check. I guess f3 check doesn't really work, or black just goes about business and f3 check is latent. It'll happen later. So the main line from this position is take, the white is greedy, and no f3 check. Okay, and I guess just stuff happens. Wow, king b1, e4. This does in fact get very exciting. Look at that. So it's the fact of these new patterns. So black is just dangling a knight, but in fact black is doing very well here, as the engine realizes after a while. So okay, so this is a key move. There is one little drawback to this move. If you look, what is the one weak square in black's castled position? So white is going to be able to take surprising advantage of that one weak square in just a few moves. So okay, anyway, so white plays bishop e4. So this is interesting. You'll see its point in a moment. Okay, so white's king also just takes an exit. Black plays back for defense, and this is the point. White is able to play bishop f5, and this now is, if black plays d5, then black's queen side will be notably weakened. So black anyway.
May I ask you a question? Why earlier black wouldn't, instead of check, why wouldn't play d5?
Yeah, that's a certainly normal move. But let's see, there is this weakness in black's position that I've talked about. Let's see, does it come into play right away? No, white just plays bishop f5. This is the idea. White is trying to weaken b7, and now queen this would be normal play. But you've lost your b7 pawn, and now actually the engine wants black to give check and go hunting.
That's right.
So maybe it's all muchness, but yeah, d5 is a very normal position here. Now, actually, the engine didn't actually like bishop e4. The engine wanted white to just try and cash in, although if you notice, the evals go down. Early evaluations by chess programs sometimes aren't reliable, so the engine is in fact dithering and changing its mind. It's gotten to depth 20, which is the depth at which my analysis starts. I use a variable depth from 20 to 30. So this is in the wheelhouse of the amount of depth I use with Stockfish versions. So the engine maybe is settled on queen b3 check as the slightly better move, but yeah, it'll probably change his mind again. One of the things of my system is the idea of, quote, the computer's move is not well defined. It's a distribution. Everything is the interaction of distributions. That's what makes the statistical analysis tricky to the intuition on the one hand, but it's all very uniform in my math and in my model on the other hand. So once you get used to the idea that distributions are natural, then you can work with those ideas. Okay. So anyway, black brought the knight into play, and white now is bringing up the army to engage black's. Black's bishop on c8 still hasn't moved, although it is part of the game. And so this now has given the initiative to white.
Why not to take on e4? Why 96?
Yeah, that's a question. Well, knight e4 check. So the problem is that if you do that, now white's bishop is really anchored on f.
And now g5.
And now d5?
Yep. Okay.
So let's see. So we just get out of here. Now what's your next move?
Probably take on f5. This pawn on b7 is doomed anyway. So at least you exchange a pair of pieces.
A pair of pieces. Yeah, okay, so white actually takes... So taking with the e pawn would give away all the advantage. That would be my my inclination. So this, however, though, I guess the idea is that now the
And maybe even take on e4, you know.
yeah, let's see, take on e4. Oh, does a catastrophe happen? No, white just takes on d7. I
And if
guess
rook b8, maybe.
let's see, rook b8, and now the queen is able to get out of the pin this way, and so I guess the problem is white is up just one pawn. Actually, white's not even going to be up one pawn, but with stuff falling off, no, white is going to be up one pawn with the knight on e4. I guess the final verdict is just that white is up a pawn, and as e4 is a square for black's knight, and black's bishop on h8 got entombed. So it's
no, position is definitely better for white. There's no doubt about that. I thought it would be more fighting, kind of a continuation, but maybe not.
Yeah. So anyway, so Caruana decided to keep the pieces on. Okay, so now Carlsen took, and now we're going to see the key point. So, what's the move? So, by the way, if black could play this move, black would indeed be better. Your instinct would be correct. But why can't black play d5? This is the...
Oh, because queen takes h7.
That's right. So this is the... So here's... So we'll just look at the evaluations. So if white couldn't play queen takes h7, then black would have the advantage, as the engine is indicating. So, but this, and then this is a royal fork, and not only that, now
the next fork. One more.
Fork, yes. So this is bad news for black. This is a very white.
It's a nice set of forks.
Right. Yeah. Yes. The whole table set for that. Yes. So that was the prettiest juncture in the game. So this,
so rook b8 probably is a move.
Yeah, rook b8, bishop g7 would might have been a little bit more circumspect. It's winning a pawn, but everything is just tactics, and so this looks good for black, but it actually isn't. So that's the other thing that's very neat. So okay, we made a very brief attack on white's king, but black's pieces are just not placed to follow this up, whereas white is just going to go about gobbling pawns. So we're one pawn up, another pawn's going to fall, and white's knight is the best piece on the board. So this is already lost for black. But there's going to come a moment of what I would call incredible sang-froid, fraud by white. So as said, the engine says black is lost, and you might yawn, but it's actually black is able to gin up a little bit of play. So rook h3, combining attack and defense. Now black has to do something quick, but there is something quick to do on the board. F3. Okay, so white has to take, and now this looks like it could be mate. So white, however, so it's interesting. Maybe white has some defense. Queen a2 is a defensive move that keeps the attack, and probably in blitz chess that might be what I would do. Although I have to worry about my queen being, it's still tricky because you have to worry about black playing queen c1 and rook b2 check would be forking king and queen. But anyway, Carlsen actually had enough time. This is Fischer. This is actually completely classical chess. So this is being played with the classical time control. Carlsen at 35 minutes and was able to work out that black has a lot of checks but no mate. That white actually is able to hide the king on the H file. So and now, in fact, since black has committed himself and doesn't have checkmate, white's back rank is going to be the decisive factor. So if black plays this, king h5, no more checks, and now white's attack is going to come in. So, so anyway, so Black instead went back to defend, but now the smothered mate is coming, or some checkmate. There are no useful checks, and Carolina gave up. No.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What a game.
Yeah. So just to show the smothered mate, this is what the finish would probably be. Yes.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
It's
So
almost like inevitable result. It's from first moves. Probably first few moves were about equal, but then all of a sudden you see the white is outplaying his opponent. Really.
right, and it was that one key juncture that was really important.
Yeah, exactly. So
So
what's your view on upcoming World Championship, so-called match?
yeah, I hope that it will be a real slugfest. I mean, obviously there's always a mental aspect for the World Championship match. Oh, I am wrong. The game, the match really. So the official starting date is November 24, not November 25. So the opening ceremony is 2 days from now, and round one starts right away Monday, the 25th. So there we go. At 1 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. our time. So it'll be on late our time. Is that really so? Am I getting that right? Wow. Okay, wait a second. What's the time in Singapore?
I think it's 12 hours difference.
Time in Singapore right now, yes, is 13 hours ahead. So no, 1 a.m. PST. I'm going backwards. Is 4 a.m. Eastern time. So that's 5 p.m. in Singapore, and that makes sense as a starting time for a game. So, okie doke. Yeah, that's right. So yes, so this will be wee hours for us.
Okay, so Monday we'll get up 4 in the morning and we'll enjoy the game.
So the other events that's going on, the World Senior Championship, but not with John Nunn defending his over 65 title. So it's, I guess, more wide open. And of course, there's the over 50 section with some people I've known for a long time. And then the other most notable event that finished was the European Individual Chess Championship. And Alexander Indic of Serbia held down the top spot throughout the entire tournament. I mean, he was undefeated. He drew in 3 of the last 4 rounds, but nobody won out to catch him. So he got off to a fast start with 6.5 out of 7, and then drew in round 8, beat Ivan Cheparinov in round 9, then drew Daniel Yufa and Daniel Darda in the last 2 rounds to stay first. There were a lot of draws in the last round because a lot of people played very carefully to keep their qualification spot for the World Cup. So the European Individual had 20 or 21 qualification spots for the World Cup. And I guess if I want to show one of Indic's games, I can fairly quickly show his game.
Okay, let's do it.
Marinov, I'll just take a minute for that. So, so represent the champion here. So here we go, and it should come off. So of course, when you have white,
okay,
yes. So it's so when you have white, it's easier to try for a win. So Cheparinov is going to challenge Indic, and here's a old opening. Wow, the Morphy Ruy Lopez, the Berlin defense kind of thought to put it out of business, but here Black is playing very creatively from move 4 on. So we have a kind of Steinitz defense, Where, however, though, black has taken steps that white cannot double the pawns. White could have done it on move 4, of course, but not now. And now, again, I wouldn't have thought that black could play this slowly. And I guess the engine doesn't think black can play this slowly either, as it's giving white a 0.6 advantage. But here we go. This is new chess. So 2 moves ago, I would have played g6 for black without a second's thought. But why play craven chess? If you're going to move your G pawn, might as well move it 2 squares. Well, the funny thing is the engine actually agrees with this. This is what's amazing. I mean, this to me is just losing chess by the standards of when I was a teenage player. I would think black would resign already, but no, actually black is justified in being active. I guess white can't blow open the game because black has already taken steps to establish a stalwart center. And
some people call this G5 system a caveman chess.
Right, yeah, but so the engine is actually saying that white should have played d4 or knight d5 right away, something to break up the coordination of black's
and knight d5, g5, knight f6, checkmate.
Yeah. That's right. Yes, that is very yes. So knight, that's worth playing on the board. So that certainly stops this move.
Hello, baby.
But okay, so but nothing is more natural in the Ruy Lopez by rook e1. But now that 0.6 advantage is completely gone, or so it says. Okay, so white plays d3. So actually now, let's see. So the other thing is, what about knight d4? Well, knight d4. The Empire strikes back, or the Rebel Alliance comes in. Black advances one knight's file pawn, and then advances the other one. And white is under attack on d4, so has to play this move, which isn't great for white. And then this, but this is fine for black now. There's no center breakthrough happening, so the excesses on the wings are not going to be punished, and the fact that black is gains a lot of space is going to come to the fore. So anyway, now Cheparinov contents himself with d3, but now the opening advantage is completely gone according to the engine. There was no checkmate threat. Black saves the pin knight in the usual way. So here we go. So now g4. I don't care about weakening my king side. I'm gaining space. And now I'll play on this ring too. This is like Fischer random chess without the castling rule. My king is fine on e8. So white does try to blow open the center. And actually, this is the one place where the engine doesn't like black's reply and thinks black should have just castled after all. And just played and, suffers for some weak squares after knight g3, h5, but has active squares as well. And white's bishop on b3 is not going to join the attack anytime soon. Okay. So rook a7, yeah, this is just very interesting play. But, it's, as we call it, just chess. Turns out f4 is the best move for white here. I'm not really sure what the idea of that. Maybe it was the sack on d4. No, it's just to support f4. So, but it's lost the key tempo. Now black is fine. So now white does in fact sack the exchange. But whatever idea white has here, maybe could have been realized by just playing normal moves. But the problem here for white is that white can't easily bring the rook to assist the attack on the king side because white's rook is gallivanting off on a7. So now we're in an end game, and now it's recognizable that black is winning. Black removes last threat. Okay, we repeat moves to gain time, I guess. And all black has to do is neutralize white's bishop. So let's see how black goes about that. Okay, that's one way. Stick a knight on a good square, but induce white to take the bishop. And actually, after this, white, I guess, took stock of the position and gave up. So
yeah, pawn on d5 is indefensible.
Yeah. So one thing just general to say is that, enterprising chess is alive and well. whether with the Fisher Random configuration or the original one.
Who could expect that, eh? I remember people were talking about that there is a death of chess because there will be draws. Nobody would be able to get any advantage out of the opening. But look, there are new openings, new lines, very tactical chess all over the place. And never mind random Fischer chess
Yep.
here. So we are living in a renaissance of chess all the way.
Right.
With that, Ken, I would like to thank you very much for today's program.
Mhm.
And I'll see you next week, same place, same time. And
Yep.
I will look at first games of the World Championship.
That's right. That'll be exciting. Okay. All right.
Thank you and have a great weekend.
Great weekend.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.